no, it was 39 minutes on the clock. Is that enough? Or should I wipe it off? Yeah?
Header, Kingborough Lions and the Hobart Zebras in the Safari Derby. We've had the Women's Super League edition already, a 2-0 win to the Hobart Zebras in that particular game. But this one has been a tough game in recent times for the Hobart Zebras. This is an opponent that has given them quite a bit of trouble. They absolutely thumped them 5-0 in round 4 in one of the stranger results of the year, one of the more inexplicable scorelines I've seen this season. That one, they absolutely roasted them. It was 4-3 the last time they met. That was on this venue. And then in the 2 games last year after Mark Broadbent took charge, it was a 1-0 win to the Lions and a 1-1 draw. So he's had a bit of success coaching against the Hobart Zebras in the past 12 months, Paul.
He certainly has, and certainly plenty of goals this season as well in this game, with a 4-3 and a 5-0. And Kingborough were, I'll be honest, pretty flat last week, so I think sometime during the week Coach Mark Broadbent would have given them a bit of a rile up, and we'll hope they come out firing. But before we do that, we'll look at the home team. Hobart Zebras line up here. Number 3, Jaden Hay. Ben Robinson making a start. I'm just trying to see who that's out. It looks like Alexander Markage is the centre-back not playing. Number 5, Jan Harutza. Geordie Muller will be patrolling the defensive midfield area as he always does. Dwayne Pipe Walsh. We'll see if he ends up on a wing or at fullback here tonight. Number 10, Stone Cold Riley Dillon. Really made an impression so far in his time in the state. Luke Biggin, number 11, another player we usually see on the bench, but making a start here tonight. Jakob Sklenage and the Colonel, Matthew Sanders, will be up top as always. And number 20, Iski Van Dorn. He's certainly drifted a little more centrally. He started out as a pure winger, and we've seen him drift a bit more in the last few weeks. And then the keeper, Isheku Kamara, in goal. On the bench, Jake French, James Ackerley, Lachlan Burt, Olaf Conforti and Matthew Pace. So a pretty youthful substitutes bench for the Zebras, but plenty of experience in that starting lineup.
Yeah, a couple of surprises there, and stone cold. Probably an apt description of just about everyone at this very venue tonight, Paul, not just Riley Dillon. So we have a look at Gabriel Marcage just striding across the pitch there. His side will be eager to finish the season on a high, even though you'd have to say their title hopes evaporated over the past couple of weeks.
Now, with Marcage, I mean, it's colder here than the night he wore the Ninja outfit. I want to return to the Ninja outfit. It is freezing here, and tonight was an apt opportunity, and I'm sure he can get away with wearing that in the technical area.
We'll see what surprises he may have up his sleeve this evening. And they're going to have to be at their best tonight, the Zebras, because as we've touched on, this is a Kingborough team that has given them some significant problems this season. They've, and last season indeed, they've taken points off them on a number of occasions. We might get to the Kingborough lineup in a second and see the outfit they're going to be going head-to-head with.
Yeah, we have a look at here. Number 1, Nick O'Connell, after a few changes in goalkeeping ranks throughout the start of the season, he's really cemented that number 1 spot for the young Lions. Jackson Nugent, who's been playing as a holding midfielder over the last few weeks. Fullback is Nick Zammett. Will Davis comes into the starting lineup after starting on the bench last week. The captain and the enforcer, Danny Cowan. He's alternated between centre-back and centre-forward in the last few weeks, and we'll probably see him up front again. Fabian Chaparro, the American import. Evan Joel Schuth, the other American import, who's made quite the impact this season. Tim Baker, the lightning fast winger from Tennessee. Number 17, Phil Kansos, who's rocking a far more conservative hairstyle this week than last time I saw him, which is most disappointing. Thomas Havainen, the left fullback, and James Hall, who was playing up front last week. 2 number 9s on the bench, which is a good effort. Joe Davis, James Wakefield, another youngster for the Lions. Tim Belstead, and the backup keeper, Jake Hayes, rounding out the Kingborough Lions lineup. A few changes made from coach Mark Broadbent to last week. He'll be hoping for a reaction from his team, as the lineup now being yelled out over the PA in a far more Scottish dulcet tone than my voice here this evening.
Yes, the sides shaking hands. We're just about ready to get underway here. Looks like we've got Tony Pett in the middle.
Copra running the line.
Big boss himself just says, Brendan, you can have a line here this evening, mate. I'll take this one as we have a look at the league table. Heading into this round, this is the picture that tells the story. The Zebras surely out of it now. They should be low south there, but they're out of the picture now. Hard. You can't see them winning it. It's
rare for our producer to put South Hobart low unnecessarily.
That one will be on me, I think, as we've got Devonport with a 5-point gap to Launceston City. City, over the last 4 rounds, will play the 4 sides in the top 4, not including themselves in Olympia. So they've got the 4 toughest games left. And Devonport playing South Hobart on Sunday in a huge game. Anything other than a South Hobart win there, and that's probably curtains for South Hobart. So Devonport, after their FFA Cup success earlier in the week, sitting very well positioned. Kingborough will be focusing on trying to catch Rangers and jump over the top of them in 6th. Catching Olympia always did seem a tad optimistic for mine.
Yeah, especially as Rangers have got Clarence this weekend, which, judging based on that ladder and form this season, we would assume is a fairly comfortable victory for Rangers, particularly up at in Launceston. So Kingborough, despite having a fairly good goal difference for a team down in 7th, they just haven't really hit the back of the net as much. They haven't had a hugely leaky defence. As Tony Pert, he's rocking the undershirt there tonight, the Englishman. You'd think he'd be used to these conditions.
Well, maybe he's just got the savvy experience to know when it's cold layers are what you need to go for. Big fan of the layered approach. Kayla Mason was the smartest player on the pitch in that previous game.
I just want to know where you find a normal T-shirt in that colour. He's clearly got sources.
That's a good point. Is
that custom made?
Some passion in that Kingborough Lions huddle right there. It's a very forceful break. So can they lift again for the Hobart Zebras? They've caused some problems, and of course about this time last year we saw Danny Cowan smashing one from halfway in a 1-0 win. Will we see anything as magical as that this evening, I wonder? Danny Cowan looks like he's lining up top tonight, as you mentioned, has been centre-back or striker or full-back. He's been deployed in a range of positions, as has this man, Jaden Hay, who looks to be starting in midfield and immediately gets us started with a long ball over the top, which is gathered by O'Connell. Zebras, I'm sure, will be out to score goals tonight. I mean, they can't win the league now, and we know their coach's philosophy is to score goals and entertain, and with absolutely really nothing much at stake, you've got to think that only gets amplified tonight. Here's Geordie Muller, who rolls it back to Jaden Hay. He's operating in central midfield today. Rutzer across to Stone Cold Riley Dillon. Back to Hay. His misplaced pass picked up there, and the Lions will look to turn defence into attack, but unable to do so. Tobias Havainen lays it centrally. Turning back is Kansos, who, you're quite right, that salad nowhere near as loud as per normal. Wide they go. And they retreat back to Joel Schuth. Schuth tried to skip past the defender, but gave it straight to Walsh. In turn, coughs it up. Back to Schuth. And then the Zebra's able to win the ball back here. Geordie Muller. Muller chips it over the top. Is Clenage onside? He is, but the keeper got there first. Well done, O'Connell.
Good work, O'Connell there. Sweeper keeping. And its finest there to stop Jakob's Clenage. Joel Schuth claims that throw in with ease. Finds his former centre-back companion at Danny Cohen with a lovely flick behind. Storming forward is Tim Baker. Sends his defender a merry dance and whips it into the box and wins the first corner of the evening. Tim Baker, he's been an absolutely impressive season so far for the American import, the Knoxville Flyer. And he'll go across to take this corner. And Kingborough, not to state the obvious, but they've got some tall timber in their lineup. Joel Schuth, Jackson Nugent. And Danny Cohen is one of the best headers of the ball I've seen. Baker goes towards the mixer, but that's over the top of everyone. And Tony Pert comfortably calls that one a goal kick. Not the best delivery you'll see this season from Baker. And just having a look at Kingborough's lineup, they're certainly switching things about in here. We've got Nugent and Schuth in the centre of the back. Havainen, who's played at left back or right back pretty much all season now, patrolling defensive mid. Zammit and Davis, the ball's given away. Danny Cohen shoots from range, and he likes doing that against Zebras. Danny Cohen, eyes lit up. He must have been watching the replay and the highlights video from last year. Sloppy giveaway down the wing.
See where it went wrong. He wasn't trying to tackle the ball.
Yeah. The best way to score halfway goals in the NPL TAS is short goal kick taken. Baker putting him under pressure. Kansos. Now to Cohen, lays it off. A quick shot here, turn. Oh, Kamara had to make that save. Was straight at him in the end, but Zebras just can't get out of their own half at the moment. And it's causing them all sorts of issues as that one goes back to the check. Jan Harutza, that took the worst bounce I've seen in a long time. That was Paul Robinson-esque type bounce across the 18-yard box. Zebras just really need to thump this clear. And it's turned over again. Finally, some pressure relief from that loose pass, but Zebras determined to play out at all possible opportunity here, and haven't got out of their defensive half for a couple of minutes here. Markaj doing some finger waving, which he's known for here with Tony Pert on the ground.
Chapeau rolls this one through. The Lions have made a bright start. This pass eluding Danny Cohen, however. It's James Hall trying to pick him out there. But, yeah, certainly a good start this for the Lions. And it's an interesting setup they've gone tonight with Tobias Havainen patrolling the midfield. Scarcely seen him away from right back in the past 2 years. So, interesting. I wonder if maybe he's been put there to man-mark Iski Van Dorn, because this one's knocked long. Zammit was there. Sklenage over the top. Clever ball trying to spring Sanders in behind, but William Davis defended that one pretty well. Kansos, who's had a tidy season, but can't make anything happen there. Big and back to Kamara, who leaves it behind and then slips over. Danny Cohen, will he make him pay? He does! An absolute howler from Kingborough against his old side. He gives the Lions the lead, and Danny Cohen does what he keeps doing against the Zebras and makes it 1-0.
Yeah, full credit to Danny Cohen, always chasing down the keeper, but that loose touch from Sheku Kamara, not under a huge amount of pressure, and then slips over, tries to turn out of it, nearly gets his hand on the ball, and then nearly collects the leg of Danny Cohen, and surely you can't miss from there. Can the Kingborough captain, and they take an early lead here, the Lions, and to be fair, it's only 5 minutes in. Zebras have barely had the ball in their attacking half so far. Turned over again from Stone Cold to Havinen. Baker coming inside, out wide to Zammit as Robinson for company. It's Kansos with a lovely bit of skill to get around the defender. Not the greatest cross though, and Robinson does well. Havinen takes it off the feet of Jacobs Glenage. Can't quite find Cohen. Can Chaparro. Bit of a shirt pull there, but nothing given at the moment. And eventually called up from Tony Pert. Jaden Hayes showing that turn of pace. Everyone's got a different opinion on where his best position is, but I'd probably inclined to think centre mid, where we've seen him line up tonight. Very versatile player.
He'll certainly love hearing that. I think he's better out wide. Aren't you, Jaden? Here's Riley Dillon. Rolls it back. Big Ben. He drops it off of Van Dorn. And Savannah, if he has been tasked with marking Iski Van Dorn, certainly lets him know he's buzzing about there. So he just left a little bit in on the Calgary Flyer. Riley Dillon to Van Dorn. Again, Havinen looking to get a foot in. Van Dorn to Colonel Sanders, who's in good form. There's the revenge foul from Iski Van Dorn, who's not happy with the attention he's receiving. It was like a bit of a check in the ice hockey there from his home country there, Iski.
I haven't seen Mark Broadbent move that quickly for quite some time. He was right off the bench. There was Broady. Yeah, a little bit of niggle in this one. Obviously, there's the marquage factor as well. Kingborough being where he was briefly last season. There's Harutza as well to play that one out of defence. Big and looking long. Ooh, letting it bounce there was Joel Schuth, putting Nugent under a fair bit of pressure. Does well. Holt briefly keeps it in. Riley Dillon did have that one covered. The number 10 looks down the line. Jacobs Glenage dispossesses Holt. And Havinen plays it to Nugent when he really wasn't expecting it. So it'll be a throw-in to the Zebras. There's a little hop in front of the throw-in taker there from James Hall. I'm not really sure what that was trying to achieve. Hall looks it down the line to Cohen. Goes over the head of him, and Jan Harutza will tidy that one up.
At the back, need Luke Biggin. Pull the clock tower. Ben Robinson. Is there a field for Walsh? And turned over. Phil Kansos now. He looks up and sees Robinson tracking back, and now he tears off towards goal. That's a good challenge from Jaden Hay. He gets stuck in there, wins the ball back for his side. Pass not so good though. Put Iski Van Dorn under some pressure, and then it's a teasing ball trying to get James Hall there. Marquage getting out the instructions. I don't think he'd be overly thrilled what he's seen in the opening 10 minutes here, and his team trailing. It's to a comical error, really, from goalkeeper Sheku Kamara. Failing to control the ball twice. Here's Glenage immediately lofting it over the top again. O'Connell once again out, and he makes a hash of it. Misses the ball, fortunately bailed out, but the keeper's just not inspiring confidence at the moment, Paul.
Complete whiff of that one there from Nick O'Connell. He has not collected any ball in that situation, and luckily we'll go back to live play. Robinson striding forward, the Dwayne Pipe. Certainly playing a more advanced role than we're used to seeing this season. Harutza climbing high. Geordie Muller composed as always. Sending it back to Biggin. Nearly kept in the end from Iski Van Dorn. Cutting inside. He's got a willing runner in Sanders, but can't quite find him. Now Hall moves that one down the line, but the spin and slope of that one will see it out for a throw. Real high energy start here. As I'm struggling to hear the sound of my own voice over Mark Broadbent there. He's yelling that loudly from the technical area.
Yeah, two gaffers with plenty to say on the touchline. Jakob Sklenage, who's played two delightful balls over the top of the defence, hitting him first time. As they've tried to catch out the Lions' defence, perhaps just looking a little bit lacking in the leg speed department. They are really pushing up the field. Kingborough playing quite a high line. Perhaps trying to catch out the likes of Matty Sanders, who's much stronger against a deeper set defence. He can get the ball in the box. Kamara's been put under some pressure here. Handles the situation pretty well though, and then just drops it off short. The big in. Jaden Hay under some pressure. Works it up to Robinson. Played a nice one too. Then back into the middle for Muller. Was behind the midfield general though, who demands something of Sanders. Plenty of short, sharp passing from the Zebras so far. Now they pull the trigger with the diagonal there, and the offside flag is raised immediately on Ben Robinson.
Yeah, right in front of the assistant referee on the far side. Ben Robinson called for that one, and Zebras just starting to get a little more composure on the ball. Every time it has gone to Kamara though, it feels like everyone in the grandstand's heart rate goes up a fair few beats. There's O'Connell. Launches that one down the line over the head of everyone, and Biggin gets a toe in. Colonel Sanders, composure to Riley Dillon. Harutza really wants to get on his right foot and finds Kamara, who takes another touch. Right down the feet of Shapiro, who hits it first time, and is absolutely nowhere near the goals there, but not the worst idea with Kamara already having one gaff. We have a look at that offside. Couldn't quite get it at the moment the ball was kicked, but certainly looked offside on that replay. Kingborough not really in a hurry to give the ball back. I don't really blame them. Zebras, who tuned into the Women's Super League game early, had their coach on the field trying to give the ball back a bit quicker, and then they're down in this game and not bothering to do that.
Yeah, and they're a team who generally like to take free kicks pretty quickly and keep a good tempo to the game. That's very much their style. Here's Ben Robinson charging down the right, plays the early cross. Unable to pick anybody out though, and this will be taken back the other way by Hall. James Hall ran straight into three Zebras, and Stone Cold Riley Dillon now has got a little bit of room to operate in. He swings one into the box, and Joel Schuth is across before Jakob Sklenage can latch onto that one. It'll be a throw in, as Dillon's delivery has been a real feature of his play. He's obviously made headlines for several of the wrong reasons in his time here, but in between a couple of the more memorable moments, we're talking the red card and the Nick Morton "How's your father?" He's put in some really good cross. I think he had 5 assists in one game. So
I was about to say, I think he's equal second on assists as of last week. I haven't seen the updated list of that, but yeah, 5 in one game is a handy effort.
Yeah, he's been a real creative force, the Bentley Grange fullback. Just discipline has been what has let him down in his time down here, unfortunately. As Jaden Hay with the back heel to the aforementioned Riley Dillon, one back by Hall, and now a chance for Timothy Baker. Back to Havainen. They combine nicely there, and then Iski Van Dorn casting the role of defender, shuts that down.
Almost doing the reverse man marking job on Havainen there, Iski Van Dorn. Davis looking down the line to Cohen, who's gone the Ibrahimovic flick towards the corner flag for reasons I'm struggling to understand. It'll be seen out for a goal kick. Kamara taking it out wide. Biggin to Sanders. Dropping ever deeper is the Colonel. Now to Sklenage. Robinson. Doesn't see too many options going forward, so plays it back to his centre back. Sanders. Couldn't quite find Hayes, so Shapiro will stride forward, has Cohen short. Goes there, Baker wants it, and so does Hall. Not too far away from him. But Kamara claims comfortably. Stone Cold looking to stride forward under constant pressure. These Zebras centre backs. As Biggin now looks to play out. Most players straying offside there for Zebras, so he had to play it short and then gives it away. Chaparro with the look away pass to Baker. On the far side is Kansos. Back to Baker. Had him facing his defence and sends it back to Zamet. Kansos. Two pretty big bodies in Dwayne Walsh and Ben Robinson for company, but he wriggles out of that one well. And will eventually win the throw-in.
Throw in on the left wing. Wynn just picking up a tad here at the moment. Zamet has not got the throw in there. I think they'd got it there. So the coach did as Robinson shows the big heave-ho that he possesses, and no doubt Kingborough will be quite familiar with his ability to launch the long throw. Looking into the first team last year down at the lines. Smarkage was still in charge down there. Here's Jakob Sklanage, the Czech striker with a raking diagonal, looking for Stone Cold Riley Dillon. He brings it down with a silky touch, then weaves past Hall and has a chance to cross one in. O'Connell collects quite comfortably. No troubles there. An impressive youngster, having quite the season, Nicholas O'Connell. And a breakout campaign for him.
Yeah, real good young keeper, despite that keeper kit tonight looking like a large piece of Hubba Bubba chewing gum.
Fair cop.
Not sure about it. It is popular, and we know the psychology behind, but it still doesn't make him not look like it. As down the line goes the Dwayne pipe. Jackson Nugent coming across to concede, I think, a throw in. Got the right amount of spin on that one. Thought that was heading out for a corner.
Another who's returned to this Lions team in recent weeks, Jackson Nugent. A bit of a staple of the side really over the past couple of seasons, and then we hadn't seen him throughout the early parts of 2018, but back in there now in the last part of the season, getting another start here is Jackson Nugent. Ben Robinson with the long throw being prepped here, and he goes in the Sanders direction, flicked on. O'Connell collects and looks for the quick release. Danny Cohen wants it. He heads that way. He's got Hall working off him. Yeah, surely he was pushed there. Perhaps just going down a little softly. Muller to Dillon. Dillon back to Geordie Muller, but that's sloppy. Straight out of play, no pressure. They're the type of errors you just shouldn't be making.
Yeah, you call it sloppy, a slightly harsher word would be lazy, that one. Here's Davis. Strides forward to take the throw in. Coming across as Baker, he ends up about knocking over Markage in the technical area. Danny Cohen playing a real Lukaku type role here for the Lions. Colonel set.
Aren't Zebras in the top four though? Because he scored.
No comment.
Dillon down the line to Sklanage. And this one chipped. Oh, cleverly done in the end there by Timmy Baker. Just saw it was going to falcon him. Went, I'll roll with this, and turned it into a pretty good headed pass. Hall plays it off of Harutza and gets the ball for the Lions in the far corner. Side in front as we approach 20 minutes.
Oh, left Conforti there, rocking a quite unconventional way to wear a bib while warming up, just wearing it as a scarf. Not really doing a whole lot there. So we'll have a look at Riley Dillon cross the ball to the goalkeeper. Throw-in taken from the Lions, deep in their attacking area. Baker's tried to head that to a better area. It's ended up that way, but good pressure in the end. Hustling from the Colonel Sanders. Now it's Robinson. Jaden Haig. Lovely bit of skill there from Sanders. Back to Robbo's chicken and meat. To Dwayne Pipe. Zebras just lacking a huge amount of attacking intent there. Kingborough are really hard to break down here so far in the opening 20 minutes. Oh, crunching challenge, putting Hall to the ground. That's a real way to get a youngster welcome to NPL football.
Yeah, got the ball first there, Iski Van Dorn, and follows straight through and clatters into the man on his way. This one's wide. So Robinson under pressure from Phil Kansos. Can't win the throw in. Robinson takes it quickly. Sklanage. Classy mover. Works it centrally for Van Dorn. He's under pressure, but got his pass away, well defended by Zamet. Now turning defence into attack. Timothy Baker looking to make something happen through the middle, and successful on that occasion. Wide, Hall, plenty of work, and he intercepts that one. Muller forward on nicely, works it to Riley Dillon. He's got plenty of options here, Riley Dillon. He decides to take off and draw a few defenders, continued his run. Toby Avainen with a good foot in, but the danger's not past. It's a chance here for Ben Robinson. Good save, O'Connell. Sklanage first to the fall of it. Centres it for Walsh. He couldn't time the volley. Robinson back out after it. Knocking on the door here are the Zebras. Jaden Hay now stands it up. It's a teasing ball. Nugent gets the header. Havainen deflects, and O'Connell will collect and relieve the danger. They just about escape.
Yeah, just about there. Robinson on his non-preferred left foot. Cohen now getting in behind Jan Harutza, doing exceptionally well to turn the defender. Cohen going into the box, hasn't got a lot of help. Was trying to win a corner in the end, but ends up being a goal kick. Full credit to Tony Perth there for making up a considerable amount of ground in the 18-yard box. There's Geordie Muller. Now, part of that lovely build-up we saw before, fashioning two chances for the Zebras. Calls for offside, flag stays down. Dwayne Walsh in on goal, and O'Connell just about does enough. Robinson.
Just loving Jakob Sklanage's work tonight. His first touch is so intelligent. You see the pass there first time, but just takes a touch into space so often. Just uses it well. He's aware of where the room is around him. He takes the touch in that direction. Then he can look up and assess his options. And there's a couple of times tonight, so they played the first time ball over the top. A little back heel on that occasion. So we have a look at Robinson. Denied by a good piece of goalkeeping in the end from O'Connell.
Yeah, had that on target. I was also enjoying that Sklanage comment of yours, especially as you were praising him. He kicked it about 20 yards out of play. Complete commentator's curse.
Sample size.
Yeah. Sklanage again with a clever flick on, nearly flying Sanders. Back to Harutza. Cohen was looking for Baker, but Baker was facing the wrong direction. Falls to Kansos. Now Baker gets it at his feet, but can't quite keep it under. Dwayne Walsh to Jaden Hay. Given away, good pressure from Baker. He's running at Harutza. Only really has Cohen available and just sets him too much of a task for Danny Cohen. Sheku Kamara now showing that urgency. It's probably needed from the Zebras. And as we were talking before, Kingborough playing a really high line here tonight. Zebras do well to play out from there. It's Biggin. Gets it forward to Van Dorn, but he just knocks it straight out of play, looking for Dwayne Walsh, who's taken up position on right wing in this match. He'll run up and down that line with great energy all evening. Will Walsh. Zamet throws it in. He now just thumps it high in the sky. Biggin. I'm trying to keep the ball on the deck here, Zebras, with not much luck. Baker, fortunate the assistant referee's flag has gone up for a throw-in. Is he not necessarily conceded a goal kick otherwise? It's now Robinson. The real favourite here in the Glenorchy area. It's Ben Robinson.
He launches this one down. That's pretty nicely worked by Sanders, and bursting onto it was Stone Cold Riley Dillon. Couldn't quite get there in time, but just he made up the ground in a rapid fire time. Here's Juan Harutza. Short for Jaden Hay, dropping in to receive it, then works it up to Sanders. Sanders to Dillon. Sanders won the immediate return, but saw it wasn't on and wisely knocked it back to Muller. He goes centrally now for Iski Van Dorn. What can the Canadian do here? He works it across for Ben Robinson. There's plenty of bodies in the box. It's well blocked though. by Kansos and behind for a corner. They're really noticeable when they're attacking with speed wide and get the wingers out there. They've got about 3 or 4 people in the box ready to hit. The Lions might be playing a high defensive line, but the Zebras are putting a lot of people, a lot of attackers up on that line.
Yeah, there was about 10 players all in a line here when you combine the Zebras attackers and Kingborough defenders before, all really trying to get forward.
Corner played in. Pinballs around, and then Robinson has launched that into the stratosphere, and another corner judge shot. Must have taken a touch off of the Kingborough line player. The camera's not going to get that unless we've got something up on Mars. That was absolutely launched here by Robinson.
Yes, maybe just trying to give a gift to the Hobart Chargers game that's on about 2 kilometres in that direction. So I think that's where that's going to end up.
Yep, it would have been closer to the deck than the goals. He absolutely belted that one, Robinson, but did take a deflection to be fair, and they get another corner from it. And this one's low near post, not dealt with, and not the best effort in the end from Big Harutza.
Iski Van Dorn just giving a centre-back the evil eyes there as he was running into the 18-yard box, and instead the centre-back just decided to try and stick a foot out and just harmlessly rolls out for a goal kick. I'm just having a good time here listening to Mark Broadbent just yelling out instructions from his technical area. Getting a very good insight into how they're looking to operate. Good header to relieve the pressure. Sanders battling against Nugent, holds it up well. Can't quite find Iski Van Dorn. Dylan keeps it in, has Hall for company. Finds the Calgary Flyer, who tries to return ball. He's just about saved the goal kick. Has Riley Dillon, but concedes a throw in. And it's Davis looking for options. He's got Baker, who's at the furthest defensive position I've seen him all game. Eventually Nugent had enough of it being there. Pumps it forward, and Cohen, always a willing aggressor, picks the ball up, and Kansos,
he's in trouble.
He's in a lot of trouble after that.
Might just be a stinger. He seems to be okay. I reckon he's just copped a little whack on the back of the Achilles. He's absolutely feeling it. Meanwhile, Jakob Sklenash has timed his run. Will he get there before the keeper? Not quite. And O'Connell has had to be sharp off his line on a few occasions throughout this first half, and he just gets there in time. As we have a look here, and yeah, just copping that one right in the back of the Achilles, and those ones sting just a little.
Yeah, they certainly do, and Nick O'Connell, the goalkeeper, playing a real Manuel Neuer type sweeper keeper here. He is really standing on the edge of his 18-yard line when Zebras are looking to play that attacking through ball, ready to clear anything.
Well, they're playing such a high defensive line, they're inviting the Zebras to play those through balls, and I think they're saying we're backing our keeper to get in there before you, and so far it's worked. There was the one heart and mouth moment where there was the fresh air swing, Zammit bailing him out, but otherwise he's just getting there in time. But they are playing with fire with this high defensive line, I reckon, as Sklenage turns into a little bit of trouble there. Chipped out into space, and a chance for Davis to loft one into the path of Danny Cohen. Cohen up against Biggin, who clatters in and nothing doing. There's the referee. I think that's the right decision. And that was carried out.
That appeal mainly came from the grandstand here rather than any players on the field. And Baker now looking to attack. Finds Chaparro. Tony Pert not calling the play back. Offside there. Here's the call, taken quickly, and Riley Dillon has a bit of space to run in. Hall covers some ground. Muller. Sanders back to Jan Harutza. Back to Biggin in place of Alexander Markage in the heart of defence today. He's copped that one, not where you want to cop that one. In the centre of the park as the Lions player. Taking the wind out of him in the centre circle.
And Tobias Avainen, he's feeling that right now. And Paul's just sensing the opportunity for some alt guide material.
Now he's back running is Avainen. And just a little behind Jaden Hay, who tries to play a ball through and falls to Danny Cohen. Now Baker. There's Hall one side. Finds Cohen, who now finds Hall in a good pocket of space on this right-hand side. Return ball. Cohen hits it first time, looking for the back corner. Off the crossbar, Danny Cohen. My word, he loves playing against these Hobart Zebras. As the Kingborough Lions captain, that would have been a pearler to rival the one from last year. And now the Zebras into attack, but well cleared from Baker. And Danny Cohen had one thought on his mind then.
And he was very, very close to executing it too. He starts the move with that clever little header, cushions it, there's the space, and he hits this just about perfectly. That's exactly what he was trying to do, just didn't quite get enough dip on it. There's a good challenge made at the other end there by Nick Zammit. Looks it up to the man we are just talking about, Danny Cohen. Back to Timothy Baker. Now this is building promisingly. Kansos is tearing off at the defence. He just left it behind a little, so he turns, waits for some support, and Timothy Baker, a good man to give the ball to. The Knoxville man works it back to Kansos. He's surrounded by Zebras, but he gets a shot off anyway. Now a play for a throw in. As the Lions just starting to lift again and have a good little spell here.
Musing to myself last week that Danny Cohen is looking very comfortable at centre back despite him starting his career as a striker, and that he probably is more preferred back there. I take that back. He's a striker of some ilk, and that's centimetres away, millimetres in fact, from being one of the goals of the season.
Yeah, I reckon if the wind was blowing the other way, or it was just down a little bit more, he might have been right there, but there is a bit of a wind blowing that direction at his back, which probably didn't help him. Stamped up the degree of difficulty even more so, but so close to being another Danny Cohen special. He's given them the lead and close to doubling it. This one's headed away by Robinson and Dawn, Walsh, now Sanders, left it for Muller. Whacks it forward, no one at home. Toby Havainen. It's around Hay. Robinson nods it back into the middle. Geordie Muller. Didn't quite do it, and now a chance here for Danny Cohen. He's offside. Timothy Baker had just looked to spring him in behind, but the flag immediately raised on the line skipper.
Yeah, a couple of offsides for the Lions so far in this first half. Really trying to play on the edge of Jan Harutza and Biggin, especially when they spread out as they have done now. Finds Stone Cold Riley Dillon, who gives the ball away. Baker then returns the favour. Hay to Sklenage. Back to Hay. Sanders looking long. O'Connell judges that one well. Dwayne Walsh charging in. Always keeper the favourite for that one. Dillon wins the header over Hall. Well directed to Muller. Finds Robinson. Biggin. Oh, Dillon in a pocket of space on the near side, but goes short. And surely a clip on Sklenage there from Havainen. Not the most likely midfield destroyer type to most Havainen, but doing a good job in this first half. Jaden Hay. Finds Dillon. Back to Hay, who's pretty unhappy with himself after that touch.
A little bit sloppy, that one. Kingborough following a similar recipe that they've followed in their racing games with them. It's all about the results. They seem to have a way to frustrate this Hobart Zebras team and seem to know the way to negate them. Here's Timothy Baker. Sends it wide. Oh, couldn't bring it under. He spelled their hole. Started to open up. A couple of runners charging into the box. Throw taken back to Biggin. Biggin across to Robinson. He works it to Walsh. Robinson makes the overlapping run. Walsh with a terrible pass. Missed his target completely and puts him under all sorts of pressure, but they let off. Chaparral, I think it was, with a really wasteful pass there. Squandering a really promising opportunity there.
Going to do better in that situation, having Chaparral. And it's a way to get him on the counter, especially after such a loose pass from Walsh. Sanders just leading a merry dance through the middle of the park. Looks to play in Sklenage, but O'Connell. Oh, Sklenage charges it down. O'Connell with the take two. Knocks it to Harutza. Muller. Hay battling in the middle of the park. Cowan, beaten in the air by Geordie Muller. Some Cahill-esque style leap from Geordie Muller there. Dillon turns back inside. Iski Van Dorn gets another chance to play the through ball. And Tim Pertz going to say last touch off Jakob Sklenage's heel there. Kingborough Lions with the throw.
10 minutes remaining in the first half, and the Lions with the lead. Tony Cowan capitalising on a comical goalkeeping error and taking full advantage. He does pretty well to volley that one up in the air. Somehow got his foot to it. He's a big un. And he will just chip it towards Schuth. Down. And again, Schuth smashes it out of there. Muller wins a header, did nicely. Sanders couldn't link up with Sklenage, who just worked his way to the ball, but play's going to be brought back here because Geordie Muller is down and looking in somewhat distress at the moment.
Yeah, he landed quite awkwardly to Geordie Muller, staying down for a little while we check on the health of the defensive midfielder. I'm recommending a Mark Broadbent cam, red button style. He has been all action in the technical area. It's landing quite hard on the surface here.
Both teams taking the chance to head to their bench and hear from their managers and take on board a few drinks, but both coaches with plenty to say throughout the first half. He said from both benches, and time to get back on with the game, I think. Is the call.
Can you hand out 22 time-wasting yellow cards at the same time? Teddy Perch is standing there with the ball under his arm saying, come on.
I'll tell you what, the finance guy in the office would be keen on that, I reckon.
There's one way to fund the grandstand.
Fortunately, sanity seems to have prevailed, and we're just going to get on with the game rather than issuing 22 slices of cheddar. It's a little inconvenient. But, both teams will see if tactical tweaks come about as a result of that, as Baker ships it straight to Danny Cowan, who decides, yeah, all right, I will leave it and observe it. The best ball back in play, but we're back underway now with Phil Kansos running at the defence. Chaparral will try and track it down, but he couldn't quite reach it in time. Robinson with the throw in. Zebras back to the full complement of players now. Geordie Muller appears to be all right. He's on the ball now, carrying it forwards. Didn't really have an option. Eventually Sanders made something for him. Back to Muller. Good ball that. Finds Jaden Hay. Robinson making a bursting run. He heads that way. Will he be able to get there? No, it just picked up speed off the wet surface and slides behind Walsh and Robinson. Both spent a lot of time at right back over the past couple of years, both making the exact same run there.
Yeah, clearly good compliments to the coach there. If you got both your nominal right backs making the exact same run, clearly, fortunately, one of them isn't a right back this evening. Is O'Connell now? Very splendid piece of bubble gum goes forward. Tim Baker, always a willing runner.
Yeah, saw Vito Sports calling you out on that one, Paul. And, I'm fully with Vito on this one. Love me a bit of the Hubba Bubba look. As we've touched on, the psychology.
I just think it should be called Hubba Bubba. Probably, for licensing reasons. Vito can't call it that. But, look, it's all good on a 8 p.m. evening in August. Makes him easy to spot, Nick O'Connell.
And he might have something to do here. He might be called into action. Iski Van Dorn duelling with Joel Schuth. And has he won himself a corner? He has, the Canadian. Nicely, and he wants to take it quickly too before the Lions defence can get set, but eventually thinks better of it and will defer to stone cold Riley Dillon, who does take it short. Van Dorn with the back heel. Dillon changes the angle and Schuth doesn't clear the area. Drilled back in, and O'Connell with a strong leg out to put it behind for a corner. They weren't quite awake to that one, the Lions.
Standing tall at the near post, Nick O'Connell. And Riley Dillon from left back taking the right-hand side corner.
He's a right footer. As he curls this one in. Sklenage the target. Can't do anything with it. Sanders Gets first to the ball. He want to turn onto his left and just win another corner, and that's exactly what he does.
Or just thinking from the hassle of having to run all the way back to left back.
I think
Markaj, of course, has got it figured out.
just sensing more chances for assists. We have a look at the O'Connell save, and did well to get his foot out to it there. Nicholas O'Connell. Dylan, he's pretty good with the set pieces, so I'm not surprised he's taking them all. That's well defended. Tobias Wayne and backing back in there to win the header, and then chipping this one forwards. Geordie Muller. Hits it straight up in the air. Hay up against Kansos, who comes from behind. Robinson does well to get past Zammit. Now Kansos doing the defensive work. Well done, Robinson. Kept a hold of it under some pressure. Crosses in. Iski Van Dorn takes it down. There gets a second touch. O'Connell blocks it off, and a big chance there for the Zebras. Van Dorn looks like he's come off second best. There's Kamara. Sean Baker on pressuring him here, given his early form. In the end, he just shanks that one into the creek.
Yeah, have a look at the Iski Van Dorn. It's a pretty strong shoulder to himself there. Off the touch, and just enough pressure there from Davis coming in from right back, just to put enough body in the way so he couldn't quite get a firm contact on it.
That was a weird deflection off his shoulder. The angle that ball shot up in the air.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that muscle is. Just kind of at the end of the collarbone there, into the shoulder. But he's got a very strong one, Iski Van Dorn.
Yeah, evidently.
Maybe it's a Canadian thing, a bit like ice hockey players or something like that.
Yeah, perhaps.
It's my exceptional stereotype theory I'm going with.
Probably fair enough. Can't say how many Canadians while I was over there who didn't like hockey. Granted, most of my time spent at hockey rinks, but,
games.
You know, nodded away by Robinson. Walsh. Sklanage couldn't get it. Schuth stepping in. Now pressuring Iski Van Dorn, who is surrounded by Lions there. A little reverse pass from Chapereau. Gets on it and then turning quickly. Sharp work from Chapereau, trying to combine with Baker. Did well, but then couldn't quite complete the move. He bought himself the space for the pass, but then couldn't quite pick it out. And the Lions through Kansos. Saying to ask a few questions. That's a clever little dink for Zammit, who's got room to cross here. He can't beat the first defender, however. The Zebras will clear the area, but that's all they'll do. Gave it straight to Joel Schuth, who swings it in there. Harutz thought he'd misjudged it, but he judged it quite expertly in the end, and behind it rolls for the goal kick.
It's been a very slippery surface out there. We usually see the pitch here skid on more than others, but it seems to be doing it even more so after the particularly heavy amount of rain we had during the Women's Super League game earlier, as that one's out for a goal kick. Sheku Kamara collecting that one. And again, looking short is the most likely option, but Kingborough really pushing players up to negate that. And still they go to Jan Harutza. Cohen putting Kamara under pressure again. Baker doing well. Dylan to Muller. Kamara again. Heart rate's not going up as much as it did earlier when he gets a touch, but still some nerves amongst the crowd. Geordie Muller got Riley Dillon in some space on this near side, and that's where he looks. Dillon, first time cross. Well cleared from Nugent. Sticking out one of those long legs of his. Biggin. Can't quite find a player and just hits it to Schuth, who misplaces his pass to Chapereau. Zebras, with a minute to go in the half, looking to fashion an opportunity. It's Muller. Sklenage. There's the little cute back heel again, but nothing happening. Baker nearly hitting that to Cohen, who'd peeled off to the far side. Now Geordie Muller for take two from this position. Looks towards Sanders. Well cleared from Schuth. Chapereau to Havainen. Heavy touch. Geordie Muller takes that one on the left again. Dillon looking for a 1-2, but read like a book from Chapereau. He's got Kansos And a good amount of space on the far side. Robinson for company. Zammit from left back. Hasn't got a whole lot of options, but wins the throw in.
Does well there, Zammit, having a solid game on the left flank there. Some serious wheels to look out for with Robinson and Walsh running at him down the right, but it's done pretty well so far when called upon. As this one's picked up in midfield by Hay, but quickly turned over. Chaperon across to Timothy Baker. A bit of room here for Baker, and he drives straight at Harutza. Chaperon. Kansos. Kansos. Ball for Cohen, couldn't control it. Geordie Muller winning it back, works it to Van Dorn. Walsh has made a bursting run, and that's where he heads. It's Dwayne Walsh, but O'Connell again will comfortably collect that one. Just a bit too much mustard on it, and just using his full extension just to loop it over the top of Walsh was O'Connell. Down the line, and a sloppy pass there. The Zebras will take over, but can't be too much longer left in this first half.
Tony Pert with the glance at the watch there.
Might be a couple of minutes. I suppose we had the Muller injury.
There, might extend it to 2.
Robinson throws for Sanders. Back to Robinson. Hey. Now Muller. Enough for frustration for the Hobart Zebras. Once again, finding themselves coming unstuck against these Lions who just seem to have their number over the past year and a bit. Here's Jaden Hay. That's a wonderful ball, is it? No. O'Connell, I thought Walsh had made a really good run, but a bit too much mustard on it again. And that will be all she wrote for the first 45 minutes here at KG5. Kingborough well on track to once again causing a bit of an upset against the Hobart Zebras. Their record against them has been fantastic in recent times, and Danny Cowan has got them a goal to the good at half-time, albeit, gee, really, well, I'd let the pictures tell the story. Danny Cowan makes it 1-0, an absolute gift of a goal, that. And that is all we had for scoring in the first half. So plenty of improvement left in both these teams, I reckon, Paul.
Yeah, I'd certainly agree with that, although Kingborough's defensive stall has been set out really well. Coach Mark Broadbent's clearly come up with a good game plan during the week, and his players are executing it to perfection. A few different changes in personnel. Nugent in centre-back, Havinen in defensive mid, really leaving Danny Cohen up top at all times. O'Connell sweeper keeping more. It's all working to perfection so far in this first half, and I guess the challenge for Kingborough, as we've seen across the season, it's the 70th to 90th minute where they tend to struggle the most after some pretty promising first halves, and hopefully for their sake they can keep that going. Zebras probably just got to, they're really getting Sklenarge into the match with these handy flicks up top, but not really hitting the byline, managing to get to the byline and then hitting effective crosses in. And Gabriel Marcage's panache for playing out the back at all opportunities, still leaving opportunities for Kingborough. So a very intriguing second half, and I think after a quick break to attempt to keep warm here at KGV, we'll be back with you in about 10 minutes.
Welcome back for the second half here at KG5. Kingborough Lions leading the hosts Hobart Zebras by a goal to nil. Danny Cohen taking advantage of a goalkeeping error to give his side the lead and send them on the path to once again upsetting this Hobart Zebras side. They've caused them so many problems in the past couple of years. And there is Kamara's error, which just led to that opening goal. And Kingborough from that point on were pretty resolute in defence. They looked well organised. Danny Cohen nearly doubled the lead when he hit the post, but there's been enough about the Zebras to suggest they're going to create enough chances. It's just whether they can take one and get themselves back into this thing.
Yeah, I mean, certainly in terms of direct shots on goal, Kingborough probably had the advantage in that first half, particularly with the goal and Danny Cohen's hit on the crossbar. But yeah, as you said, Zebras were always probing. Geordie Muller and Riley Dillon in particular were looking to attack down the near touchline. Jacobs, Glenage and Sanders constantly moving about up front, so they do have something about them as we have Jacobs, Glenage a bit laid out here for the second half. Clearly forgot about him. Kingborough are all ready to go, but the Zebras really need to have their go team huddle, and Danny Cohen looked like he was about to take the kickoff then. That was quite meek from the Zebras and probably unnecessary.
Certainly, we weren't lacking for noise on the whistle to get the players back out for this half.
No.
Forceful whistling. Very, very loud stuff. So, we're ready to go here. I wonder if Danny Cohen's considering a shot here. Maybe Timothy Baker is. He'll launch the diagonal instead. He tries to get it there to Kansos.
Does that ever work, that diagonal ball? I've seen it work once in my life from the kickoff.
Yeah, I've not seen it
And
to terrible success.
Ironically, the only time I've ever seen it work was a Danny Cohen goal it ended up being. So,
well, Kingborough got every reason to keep using it then, I should have thought.
I will say this is a tactic from a 2010 Division 1 game.
Wow, that's winding the clock back as Nugent steers it away. Only as far as Jaden Hay. Oh, well done, Timothy Baker. Sensing the danger, just got in front of Hay before he could get the shot away. And he works it to Danny Cohen, who does well to get around Biggin, but Biggin recovered it. Won the ball away. And the Zebras attack now. Whiskey Van Dorn is gliding past them here and then punches one looking for Dwayne Walsh, who'd made a good run. Tracks this down before the byline, gets his crossing. Great ball, Sklenage inexplicably over the top. The Czech Cobra surely had to score that one.
We've both got in our hands after that one. Jakob Sklenage, leading goal scorer last year, and unmarked, 8 yards out from goal, at least half the goal he aimed for. And he skies it over. Inexplicable miss from the Czech marksman. Maybe just still a bit frozen to the spot after half time. Really stretching to make excuses for that. I'd expect him to put that one in the back of the net. Jaden Hay now looks out wide to Whiskey Van Dorn. Set way too much of a task. There is the Calgary Flyer. But yeah, Jakob Sklenage. If there was one player in the league I'd want in that position, I'd probably pick him, to be honest.
Yeah, just putting that one wide. Big chance going begging there for the Czech striker. You'd like to have that one back. So a real let-off for the Kingborough Lions, who nearly relinquished that lead. Just switched off for a second. And all it took, lovely work from Whiskey Van Dorn in the lead up too, to play that ball through to Dwayne Walsh as Shek Kamara traps and then swings it in the Sanders direction, chests it down and then sends it wide. Davis gets his head to it. Only as far as Van Dorn. Following up, Davis wins it away, gets it to Shaparo. And one back by Jaden Hay. Hay tries to switch it out to Walsh. Nicholas Zammit wins it back. Now the Lions looking to build something of their own. In attack, working back Jaden Hay. Took it away from Hall. Played it to Dillon. Back to Geordie Muller. I'm sure that was his intent. Ends up working all right though. Gets it to Sanders, to Sklenage, to Robinson. Robinson back to Sanders. Sanders returns it to Robinson, who just ran a little bit too far. He's behind him in the end. Ball in dispute here. Will be taken by Baker. Baker for Hall. Anticipation from Harutsa, couldn't stop it and shipped over the top. Danny Cohen in a battle here with two Zebras, and Robinson is able to win it back to Harutsa. Gives it to Muller. Now it's Riley Dillon. Zebras kicking the ball along the deck, looking to pass the ball around the pitch, but they've turned it over. Harutsa forced to step in and make a defensive challenge.
He was trying to guide that one to Riley Dillon, Jan Harutsa, but not quite getting enough purchase on that one. So the Lions will have a throw in just on their side of halfway. It'll be Davis, Will Davis, to take the throw in. Looking to find Hall, but Dillon, as he has to be fair most of the night, at the marker of Hall. Oh, Dwayne Walsh cleverly left that one. Robinson was striding forward. Bit of shirt tug on Kansos, not given. Dwayne Walsh keeps his foot in on Phil Kansos. And not one to pull out of a challenge is the Dwayne pipe. Goes crashing through the young Lions winger. As we have another look here, gets none of the ball. Dwayne Walsh. And Jill Schuth will look to take the free kick. Cohen against Harutsa seems a likely destination. Schuth goes in that area, but he'd stopped the run. Danny Cohen, and comfortably headed back to Sheku Kamara. Good intercept from Nick Zammit. Iski Van Dorn again looking to take it quickly. It seems like the message from half-time for the Zebras is urgency. They're back to their quick throw-ins and quick free kicks. Geordie Muller. Now to Van Dorn. Against Havainen, who's followed him everywhere all night. The second defender, Jackson Nugent, knocks that one out for a corner.
Starting to see Iski Van Dorn get on the ball a little more in this half. Didn't see a whole heap of it in the first 45, but in the first 5 minutes, featuring prominently the Canadian, looking to play his feet wherever possible as Riley Dillon prepares to swing this one in. O'Connell comes out and collects commandingly. Good stuff from the young keeper, using a powerful stature of his, and he smashes this one in the Baker direction. Geordie Muller beats him to the ball. A good duel between the two. Baker managed to work it away from him, but the Zebras had the numbers. Muller and the support from Harutsa, and then combining nicely with Sklanage there. The Lions able to win it back. Good anticipation again from Harutsa, getting in ahead of Timothy Baker. And the Lions throw in here early doors in the second half. It could so easily be 1-1. Sklanage declining. Glorious chance to square things up. And still the Lions holding sway thanks to the Danny Cohen goal. As waltzing through the middle here, Iski Van Dorn, advantage played. Jaden Hay spreads it out to Walsh. Walsh has got Robinson in support, instead plays the cross. The clearance was very unconvincing in the end there. And they'll get themselves a corner, the Zebras, but played it back into the dangerous area. That's not what you want to be doing. That could have pinballed anywhere. That
could have gone anywhere off the back heel of the Lions defender in the middle of the park there, as Dillon takes the corner, looking deep, touch back in, cleared off the line in the end. Shot coming in into the cricket net in the end. It was a crucial save on the line from the Kingborough Lions. Holding on here at the start of the second half. Sanders knocking it in. It's Cohen, the goal scorer, off the line. And Jaden Hay always leaning back, but both goal scorer and goal saver this evening is Danny Cohen. Top-notch effort at either end, and that shot's not so much of a top-notch effort from Nick O'Connell. It's gone out on the full. Now to Van Dorn. Dillon. Davis does well enough, concedes a throw, taken quickly. Sanders looking to turn, can't quite find Sklanage. Eventually Kingborough cleared towards Cohen, battling against Harutsa as they have done all night. Will fall to Havainen. Loose pass only finds Robinson. Kansos now on the grandstand side, and foul given for that one. I'm saying Kansos was a little theatrical then, but I think he was certainly clipped from Robinson. Potentially a soft one, but you'd probably give it.
Yeah, definitely went looking for it. I don't know that he did give it. Yeah, he did. But you can see he's hey, knew exactly what he was doing, Kansos. And Schuth takes the resulting free kick and just sends it up the line. Cohen in a grappling match there, as he has been for much of the game. Target man. It's been a real noticeable uptick in the tempo this half from the Zebras. Looking to go a little bit quicker. Really get this Lions defence under the pump as Harutza saunters forward. Did it nicely. Works it to Iski Van Dorn. The Canadian drops it off for Jaden Hay. Hay thinks about the shot, skips inside. Plenty of Lions bodies back there. Into the Lions den there did Jaden Hay. Now Phil Kansos has got a couple in support. Clever little footwork from Kansos. Holds it up and then he gets around Harutza. This is promising stuff. Now can he pick the pass? Not quite well blocked off. Kansos following up. Eventually they'll negotiate their way out of this one, the Zebras. Along in the Sanders direction, skips over a couple, might invite Sklenage in behind here. Dangerous stuff. Jakob Sklenage tearing into the box. He'll cut back onto the right foot here and centres it for Matty Sanders. Shot blocked behind for a corner. And they're holding on at the moment, but it's only just.
Couldn't get the ball to settle there, the Colonel Sanders. He didn't want to hit it first time, and about there is where he needed to hit it. But it's just a slightly loose touch in front of the Colonel, and just popped around like a popcorn chicken there in the box after the touch. But another corner from Riley Dillon. There are plenty of corners this game, Hobart Zebras, and here's another one towards the back stick. O'Connell flapping at it, gets a bit of it. Again in the box, but well cleared. Biggin was there. Walsh whips it in first time, and a thunderous header out for a corner from Nugent in the end. And Dillon will trot across. How many corners are we at in this game, do you know?
Give me one second. Give me 1 second.
As I feel like I've had to call Riley Dillon's name from a corner a fair bit.
Unlike you to be taking an interest in the corners, Mark and Paul.
No, absolutely not. As Dillon going towards the back post. O'Connell again just getting enough. Hey, hits it first time, deflected. Cohen again. Calls for a foul there. Sliding challenge from Chaparro. Walsh leaving a foot in. Nothing given. Dummied. Skletter, it's in! Colonel Sanders rifles it in from inside. 12 yards out, and there's still a Kingborough player down. Some controversy over that one. The whistle is up from Tony Pert. Don't know if he's calling for VAR, but...
Well, I think he's just saying we're going to stop the game while the player gets some attention. Chaparro's down here. The goal's good, though. Don't worry about that. It's 1-1. Matthew Sanders has squared this game up at KG5. We'll have a look at the replay. Chaparro goes down, well off the ball. Play quite rightly continuing there. He's not involved. Cross in from Walsh, and that is a wonderful first touch and finish from Sanders on the non-preferred. That is clinical stuff from the Colonel. Quick touch to see himself, bang.
Yeah, slightly overcritical of his touch before. Nothing wrong with that one in the 18-yard box from the Colonel Sanders. Still yelling from the technical area as Mark Broadbent. Chaparro's back to his feet. We'll at some time have a look at a challenge from Walsh on Chaparro. He's certainly back to his feet and running around fine. Robinson to Walsh. Sklenage. Robinson and Hay. Now Muller. Jordy Muller sprays it out wide to Iski Van Dorn, who's certainly playing more of a natural wing position in this half. Riley Dillon going towards the near post where the Colonel's probing. Back to Dillon. Sklenage trying to battle with the keeper, but Nick O'Connell had the height and reach advantage there. And which corner stats are we going to look at? I believe yours.
9
stats are accurate.
Was the tally the Zebras have accrued so far. So really,
that's probably 10.
Well, it probably would be now. Yes, they've really dialed up the corners tonight. Riley Dillon been a very busy man, and the Zebras really looking to take the game to the Lions just at this moment, dialing up the pressure. They might not be able to win the league title anymore, but forget about titles. What about pride? They've got plenty to play for here. They'd hate to see this season that's been so competitive slip away. Fair to say the crowd not overly happy with the lack of a handball call there. This one slid through for the run of Jakob Sklenage, and that one's blocked behind for yet another corner.
Yeah, it certainly is in double figures now, the corner count. Dillon again really wanting that. And I didn't see much wrong with that one there. Tony Pert rightly calling play on.
Yeah, a bit of exasperation from the crowd, but looking at that incident through one eye perhaps, I might suggest.
Yes, possibly. As Dillon takes the corner kick near post. Cleared, but he'll have another opportunity. Riley Dillon again. Still got 7 in the box to the Zebras. Bit more purchase on that one. Connell again misses it. He was bailed out by the defence. Geordie Muller, the last line of defence, hoofs it back in. Flick on header. Could put O'Connell under pressure. But he does well on this occasion. There's the keeper. Hooves that one high in the air. Baker coming underneath it. Kingborough getting forward quickly. It's Hall on the far side. Back to Baker. 3 or 4 options in the box. Hall, I think, was expecting that, but keeps it in play. And ball eventually falls out for a throw.
So we hit the hour mark here at KG5. 1-1. Both teams chasing what could be a match winner with the go-ahead goal. And that one will be a goal kick. Hobart Zebras drawing level. Some sharp work in the penalty area by Matthew Sanders. And cancelling out Danny Cohen's opener in the first half. Having himself quite the season, Matty Sanders. It's goal number 23 for him this year. He's really been firing them in for fun as the Colonel. Fantastic goal scoring record. And many other seasons would be poised to win the Golden Boot. Fortunately for him, Braden Mann exists.
Yeah, and as Braden's well on his way to a potential NPL TAS record. Yeah, it's almost like when you break the world record but finish second at the Olympics. It's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, but he can be still pretty happy with his work. But yeah, you're right. It's a tough one for the Colonel. He scored more goals than he did last year. But, not going to be enough this year, I don't reckon, in that Golden Boot race. Braden Mann looks to have had that one sewn up for some time. Similar story in the Super League with Jasmine Gorry just lapping the field there. So the two coastal strikers,
they're thriving. Once again, all of the trophies this season seem to be heading to the north and northwest of the state. Don't know what's left for Southern TAS as Kamara again with a slightly dicey touch at his 6-yard box. Gets it out to Harutza. I think he was looking for Van Dorn, but may have been caught in two minds with that one.
I think Taruna would be quick to point out their statewide cup win to you, Paul.
Yep.
Just getting in before those messages start coming in.
That's all right. I knew there was one out there. I was just racking my brain for it.
So,
not counting the statewide VARs, obviously.
Well, obviously, it's Robinson. Played that one in. Sanders had just started his run though, and he looks back. And what if Shaparo in a little bit of room working back with Robinson, just showing off those wheels of his. Kamara under the gun, screwed that one out there towards Kansos. Jaden Hay back inside for Muller. Still linking up well in midfield tonight. They switch up the direction of the attack. Dillon making a bursting run here, and that's where they head. They send it down the line. Couple in the box to pick out if he's good enough. He turns onto the right. Jaden Hay in acres of space at the top of the box. And he just went for placement rather than power. And in the end, his placement was off because it went straight down the throat of O'Connell.
Right down the throat of O'Connell as Kansos now has it on halfway. Goes for a completely unnecessary trick pass there. Robinson is not having a bar of that. Vinen in the centre of the park. Looking for Hall, but hits it behind him. Will he keep it in? He does, and There's a little bit of a kick for touch. Gains an extra 20 metres, trying to pen Zebra's back. Which Broadbent is a bit happier with. Not quite as playing as aggressive a line this half are the Lions. Van Dorn battling with Davis. Now Hay. Sklenage up ahead. Good hard challenge featuring there. Sliding challenge from Baker, who's seems to be drifting further and further back as the game goes on. It's Hall. The two number 20s against each other. Cohen peeling off. Manages to win the throw-in off Iski Van Dorn.
Well done, guys, from the back there. Toby, you're doing great, bud.
A huge rush to take this the Lions. Davis striding forward. Muller back to Kamara again, who just fires it into the back of his own teammate's head and then claims it comfortably. Mark Broadbent can't quite believe that the luck is really not going his way in that situation. Shukri Kamara, not the most convincing of clearances so far this evening. Shuth now to Zamet. Baker. Kansos. And now Zamet looking to go forward. Chaparro not getting there, but the foul given on Nick Zamet. That's by Dwayne Walsh. That's about his second or third foul there for the Dwayne pipe. Quite a even contest at the moment. Nothing either side really getting on top, despite Zebra's scoring recently.
The Zebras have probably had the better of this half, but Kingborough asking a few questions of them. They've got a set piece here. Shoe throws high, headed away by Riley Dillon. And then, well, on a different page there was Iski Van Dorn and Matthew Sanders. He was expecting him just to drop off into that space and receive it. Sanders had made the run forwards, hoping for something over the top. Understanding between the two there. Dillon's done really well to keep that ball in. Back to Harutza. Now Dillon works it in for Geordie Muller. Sanders linking up. He's got a couple of options. He'll go the shot instead. That one charged down. Deflected. Cleared away. Sanders again chesting it down. Then left it for his fullback. Might not have been the best option. Iski Van Dorn back on the ball and swings it to the back post. Looking for Walsh. He'll stretch, but he can't quite bring it down. Just misjudging that one.
Pretty difficult to bring that one out of the air. It's snow coming down on it. It was that high.
I'm not sure it needs to go that high to come down with snow on it tonight, though,
No,
Paul.
absolutely not.
And a distinct chance that'll happen of its own volition.
Yeah, glad we don't have a ground at Ferntree in this state. Geez, I think you'd be able to play on it 3 months a year. So O'Connell takes the goal kick in the Cohen direction. Looking for Kansos, but shepherding that one out of play is Luke Biggin. And it'll be Robinson looking for an option down the line. Sanders, flick on header. Walsh will stretch to keep that one in, but not quite in time from the Dwayne pipe. 66 minutes gone, neither team made a sub so far as we look at the Zebras substitutes warming up down there on the sideline. Conforti still rocking the, I think the snood look that was popular in the Premier League at one stage.
I remember that phase.
Yeah, every single player started wearing a snood. I mean, I used to think it was just Arsenal players, but it was everyone. It was a shocking phase. There's Kansos, and we're off our snood hatred for the evening. This place is just kept in there. There's Davis. Good dummy there, leaves it for Baker. Good step over from the American. It's Baker in the box and well cleared from Biggin. And Geordie Muller does the rest, giving Mark Broadbent his nearly first touch, and then Samet completely ruins his golden moment.
Oh, Samet just ruining the tech as a Broadie there. He was just about to put on a show for the crowd. His fullback a bit more interested in getting the ball back in quickly to score, but I feel we've been robbed of something. I mean, he's going to produce something spectacular there, I've no doubt.
I've absolutely no doubt. Maybe a bit of around the world, a bit of, maybe get it on the neck.
There we go. Oh, there we go. And the silver service to Robinson.
Gives better service to the opposition, Brody, as Robinson makes the throw in. Sanders flicks it on to where he thought Glenage was beat, but he wasn't there on that occasion. Biggin and Kamara will work it out between them. Out to Harutza. Check centre back striding forward, looking for Van Dorn. Davis knocks that out for a throw in.
Thrown in, chested down, both teams with a little over 20 minutes to try and find a winner. Will they be forced to split the points? Here's Timothy Baker. Davis down the line and running onto it is Hall. Here's a chance. This is starting to build all right. James Hall takes it inside. Plenty of zebras there though. Muller just shields him off from the ball and lets Jaden Hay in. Hay gives it across to Riley Dillon. Sorry, Van Dorn. Now Riley Dillon, who tried to get round, couldn't do so.
My new campaign's to bring back the snood.
You just said you hated him.
I do, but now I'm just getting all nostalgic.
Deary me. Because this one should be escorted out of play, but just wouldn't quite roll out there. And Hay putting the pressure on. Looks like some action on the Lions bench here. There's Baker looks up, sees very little ahead of him. Kansas is making a good run. Instead, he goes down the right for Cohen. That's a good ball too. Danny Cohen now hasn't got a lot of support, so he has just to blaze one across the face and won't come to anything particularly meaningful.
Great time wasting throw in there from Danny Cohen, just really rifling it across the face.
Looks like we're going to see Joseph Davis coming on here for the Lions. See who he's going to replace. And Chaparro is it wandering off. So putting in Chaparro. So his night come to an end. We'll see if Joseph Davis, joining William Davis, can provide the spark up top for his side.
Looks like he's taking that number 10 role that Chaparro's had, so a like-for-like replacement so far as Robinson finds the Colonel. Jordy Muller under immediate pressure and Davis gets his first touch. Cohen is within shooting range here and he obliges and is closer to my car in the end there from Danny Cohen.
Too close for Danny Cohen to be hitting these long range shots. Needs to be a bit close to the centre circle. There's some action on the Zebras bench now too. Matthew Pace is it coming on? Looks like he's going to come on and replace Dwayne Walsh.
Ever the consummate professional Dwayne Walsh, I'm not terribly happy with coming off. The pace, probably trying to inject a little bit more that his surname suggests. Kamara.
Good man to have on the bench actually, Matthew Pace. He's been really impressive when I've seen him start this year. A couple of weeks there where he was just about best on consecutive weeks. Got dropped after that. But
it seems that being best on ground for Zebras is a recipe to be dropped. We saw that in after the Devonport game with Jake French.
Yeah, that's right, a couple of times.
Pace, and seems to happen more regularly at the Zebras than any other club. Far from me to disagree with the tactical wizard they have as a manager though.
I'll let you two sort that one out post-game as the Zebras find Iski Van Dorn in a bit of space. Danny Cohen doing plenty of work back defensively though and just perhaps forced the quick take of that kick and that's why it's gone out of play. So the captain really leading by example up top tonight for his side.
Certainly is. Will Davis collects. I think Mark Broadbent there making it really obvious what his tactical change is. We'll see James Hall and Davis go out to the wing and Hall come in the centre, and you can hear it from up here in the grandstand. He's not really hiding his tactical changes there, Broady. No little passing of pieces of paper thrown on the ground on pitches and things like that.
No need for smoke signals here. Boys more happy to know what they're doing, and it might lead to a chance here. It's Phil Kansos now running at Robinson. He cuts inside. Phil Kansos squaring ball. Jaden Hay worked back in defence. Kansos still fighting on hard though. Works it back to Hall. Hall now might think about a shot. That two blocked by Biggin. Now it's Nick Zammit. Zammit pulls the trigger. Well, that one I thought might have taken a little deflection. It's rising always though over the top. No threat to Sheck Kamara's goal, but the Lions just seem to have found a second wind here and pushing rather hard for the go-ahead goal.
Yeah, certainly are here in the last 5 to 10 minutes. Do flag at half-time at 70th to 90th minutes, so when Kingborough tend to struggle, but they're doing pretty well so far as Robinson now whips that one into the near post and over again from the Colonel Sanders. Made a lovely near post run there. Zebra's leading marksman, but just got a bit too much air on it on that occasion. Now O'Connell not bothering with any short goal kicks by the looks of it. Heads in the Cohen direction up against Muller. Muller ends up winning it, and Davis with the awkward clearance with the outside of the foot. It falls to Hay. Got options in the box, but well cleared from Nugent. Zammit. Down the line to Kansos. Robinson reading like a book on that occasion. Zammit. Looking for Kansos, but can't quite pick him out. Joel Schuth. To Baker. Being harassed by Biggin. Joel Schuth playing the screen, and that's a lovely ball into the path of Danny Cohen. He'll hit it with the left, and Sheck Kamara underneath that one always. Got into a good pocket of space there, Danny Cohen, but really good. The pick and roll there from Joel Schuth was magnificent to see. And Davis will see that one out for a throw.
So the Zebras now are being put under a little bit of pressure back the other way now. How can they respond at the other end? Both teams pushing hard for the win. Draw doesn't really help either of them. Here's Sanders, who's got Sklenage. Big chance, and he's put it over the top. You wouldn't dream of it. That's twice in this half. Glorious chances have gone begging here. He just positioned himself perfectly, and in the end just gets his foot positioning a little bit wrong. Just has to kind of stab at it, off balance, and over the top it goes.
Yeah, here comes Sklenage. He's not having the greatest day in front of goal. Be remiss of me to point out the great role he had in the Sanders goal with a lovely dummy run. Point out by esteemed viewer, Liam Scott, tuning in. Very good pick up there, one I didn't see initially, but in front of goal, Sklenage is not having the greatest evening. Probably should have two for a striker of his ilk. That's a lovely turn from the aforementioned Czech striker. Lovely step over. Finds Van Dorn. Pace in the middle, hits the byline, and Davis concedes another corner. I don't know what the record for corners is for one team in the NPL, but Zebras have got to be going pretty close here. They are racking them up.
I'm not too sure where it would be, but I suspect it probably would have come during the Knights era.
Yeah, probably.
The NPL.
What are we on?
Clarence games this year might have hit that territory too, mind you. As the Zebras, though, are certainly getting a lot of corners, and can they profit off this one? No. Danny Cohen working back in defence. Did it pretty well. Here's Jaden Hay. He tried to drive one in there. Phil Kansos charging that one down as well. Another chance for Jaden Hay to swing in yet another corner. He's assumed set-piece duties for the time being. And he goes with a pretty decent ball. O'Connell gets there in the end. I thought he just made a bit of a mess of it, but he recollects it well enough, does the big keeper. And it remains locked at 1-1.
Yeah, it does well, and not sure if really rushed that goal kick. Really rushed that kick out there. Hit it straight out of play, and Robinson now with the throw-in close to halfway. Sklenage wants it to his feet, ignores that one and looks forward, but only as far as Zammit. Baker beaten out by Biggin. Cohen, who seems to be dropping deep with the pacey Tim Baker is in 1v1 with Arutza. Wants to get on the right foot, and that's a heavy touch inside from Baker. You could see he really wanted that right foot, and it's better off just to hit it with the left.
Yeah, pretty well defended in the end. Right, Harutza in this one-on-one here. Baker, he's thinking. You can tell he wants to go on the right, and Harutza knows that. He says, I'm going to send you onto the left. Kamara can cover the post. Eventually, he does get some space, but just a heavy touch that allows Ben Robinson in to cover that one. So well negotiated by the Zebras' defence in the end there. A moment of real danger. Timothy Baker, when he first burst forward, I thought that had goal written all over it. So doing well to survive. Baker on the corner duties now to the back post. Cohen was there. Every single player appealing for this one, given the efforts the Zebras made to prevent it going out. Suggest it would have been a Lions corner, but they've got their first, and oh my, Riley Dillon made a perfect run through the middle. That's a vital block. If he doesn't make that, Dillon is sauntering in one-on-one with the keeper. That is a crucial block. Sanders goes again, chips it over the top. Jakob Sklenage chesting it down. Trying to tee up Dillon, and it's going to roll behind for yet another corner. Number 15, I think.
15 for which Riley Dillon has probably taken 13 or 14 of those corners. He'll wait for the tall timber to stride forward. Jan Harutza making his way to the back post. Dillon looks in that direction. O'Connell again misses it, but Schuth bails him out. Sanders fortunately concedes the corner. Kansas just firing it into his kneecap from about a metre out. And Kingborough will have the goal kick. One sub each from either team. Nothing else, as no other movement on the substitutes bench. O'Connell, we're hoping for a bit more accuracy than his last goal kick. Oh, distance on that one. Cohen has a fresh air swing at it. Striding forward is Dillon. Sets Van Dorn a task, but he controls it well. As the Canadian looks towards the back post, pace. Couldn't quite make full purchase with that one. Just hit with the instep. Pretty difficult to pick that one out of the sky.
Yeah, I reckon he's just trying to cut it back there for Sanders, and he couldn't quite work it back enough. It was tough as the Lions on the attack again. Baker making things happen this game. Opening up, the field really starting to stretch. Both teams want the goal that would win the game here. Pace nods it down. Sanders is offside. Flag immediately raised on the Colonel there, but given that neither team is going to be winning anything this year, and the point's not going to make a whole lot of difference to the league table, you might as well go for the victory here. So go all out. You know the Zebras will. And the Lions seem to be attacking it themselves here. Plenty of bodies forward for this one. Ready to get on the end of a Danny Cowan flick on. Unfortunately for them, Robinson was the one that went straight to. Here's Harutza. The big check centre half, marauds forwards, and then played it to Dillon. Gave it to Van Dorn, back to Riley Dillon. Now Jakob Sklenage. Zebras patiently working their way through here. Sklenage assesses the options, gives it to Muller. Now Robinson. He pulls the trigger with a cross to the top of the box for Sanders, cushions it down for Sklenage! Oh, delightful stuff there from the Zebras. Clinical football. They just worked it, finally pulled the trigger, put the cross in, Sanders chest down, and there is the clinical Czech Cobra that we've been knowing and expecting for the past couple of years. That's far more like Jakob Sklenage.
Third time's a charm for Jakob Sklenage. Rifling that one into the bottom corner. It was set up perfectly for him and absolutely on a plate. The Czech marksman, and Shane Brassington watching at home, wondering who scored the first one to see if his import record is going, and Sklenage, I think, has just equalled that one. So it's bad news for him, but Jakob Sklenage doing what he does best in poaching in the 18-yard box as Kingborough set up another sub. Coming off James Hall. Coming on.
Number 15, Jacob Sklenage. Zebras now lead 2 goals to 1.
Yes, number 8 for Kingborough, and I don't have the substitute in front of me, so subs list in front of me.
James Wakefield.
James Wakefield coming on. And Danny Cohen getting the biggest head start to a kickoff I've ever seen. Being told in no uncertain terms to get back to Tony Pert by Tony Pert. And again, nifty footwork there from Baker. And between Kamara and Robinson, they'll do enough to deal with it. Kamara gets good distance on that one. Sklenage lets it run. Sanders trying to get underneath it, but Nugent doing just enough. Sklenage getting in front of the defender with another wonderful turn. Wanting a free kick. And after about a 3-second delay, Tony Pert gives it.
Just be brought back. You can take it quickly. Zebra still really looking to up the tempo and attack, despite the fact they've now got the lead.
I still think they really want to finish second, to be honest, Zebras. I mean, they've not won an NPL TAS yet, and I think second's their highest ever finish, so they'll be looking to equal that and demonstrate some progress on last season.
Yeah, still very much in play as Riley Dillon swings in a wonderful ball, causes problems at the back, and it's put behind for another corner. There was Zebras running onto that one, a good defensive play. I think it might have been Tobias Avainen. He got the foot on it in the end. Yes, it was Avainen. A crucial intervention it was, with a few Zebras buzzing about there. Corner number 16 to be taken here by Iski Van Dorn. Aerial bombardment, and this one causes O'Connell all sorts of problems, and Iski Van Dorn has scored from the corner. Well, we thought a corner would lead to a goal eventually. Perhaps didn't expect it to come directly, but Iski Van Dorn has done just that. And at 3-1, it's surely game over.
Well, it's the first corner he's taken all game, and maybe he should have taken all 15 before it, as Iski Van Dorn whips that one in. O'Connell, he hasn't been terribly convincing from corners throughout the match, it's got to be said, and that one is really hasn't got a firm palm behind that one. And at 3-1, Zebras have been pushing and pushing this half. Probably locks a win away for the Zebras, getting the double in the Safari Derby here tonight. Baker trips on the ball and then passes it to nobody in particular. It'll go down, I think, as an Iski Van Dorn corner. It'll be cruel to give that as an O'Connell own goal in the dubious goals panel next week.
Well, it was on target, so yeah, it looked not young O'Connell's best moment. Struggled a few times under the high ball tonight, but he's had a fantastic season, the young keeper. He's been one of the breakout players of the NPL campaign. He's been really a number of weeks has kept Kingborough in games and got them a number of points on his own. So his colours lowered a little bit tonight, but overall a very positive season as Pace just dealing with O'Connell there and conceding the free kick.
Taking some tackling tips from Stone Cold Riley Dillon. There was Matthew Pace. Not quite as vicious, but that could be taken as a wrestling move in some situations. Free kick to be taken by Baker, whipped into the centre. Good header from Shootham. Kamara had to tip that one over the top. Got good purchase on it. Did the Lions defender. Shooth relatively unknown. Kamara, it was right above him. And Baker will now run across to take the corner. Goes towards the back post, getting to it. In the end was Davis, I believe, at the back post. No, it was Wakefield, the new, this recently arrived substitute. And blazed it over, so Kamara, who was pretty much at fault for the Lions goal of this match. He hasn't conceded since, done what he's needed to do, flicked on Pace. Can't quite get that to Sanders. Geordie Muller, Dillon gives the ball away. Absolutely surrounding Kingborough Lions there are the Zebras. They've just got a bit of more run and hunger in them with Pace. Now Sanders will be looking to the far post. It's his own teammate running in on goal, and Pace is offside. In any case, it was probably going at the keeper, but I'd be a bit filthy if I was Colonel Sanders in that situation.
Yeah, the own teammate putting the the defensive shot block on for him. At 3-1 the game, surely safe now for the Zebras. I don't think they'll be minding too much. It was a dicey proposition there for a while. It wasn't looking likely as Kansos is felled once more by Jaden Hay. Free kick blown there. But they've got the goals eventually. They've worn them down. I mean, 16 corners. They've been knocking on the door, that's for sure. They'd plenty of play up round the lines area. And eventually that pressure was going to tell. There's a late sub here for the Lions. Looks like Timothy Belstead is going to come on. Let's see who he replaces. Looks like he's coming on for Nick Zammit. Phil Kansos, maybe. Yes, Phil Kansos is going to come off. And Belstead comes on. Physical presence at this set piece. See if Zammit can pick him out. Almost kind of a night for Phil Kansos. Didn't quite come off for him, but was lively at times. Zammit standing this one up. Schuth the target. It falls Wakefield. That turned to a pretty good pass in the end. It wasn't his intent, but nearly worked. And in the end, Kamara able to claim before the lurking Havainen can get there. And then a long ball down the guts is going to cause a few problems here. Iski Van Dorn buzzing about with the Lions throwing bodies forward. They were horribly exposed at the back. And that's not going to work for Iski Van Dorn.
Connell comfortably claims that one off the Calgary flyer. Launches a bullet of a pass. Danny Cowan flick on header. No free kick given, and Baker sliding in to prevent the counter. As we head ever closer to the 90th minute. And it's Geordie Muller electing not to take the throw. Tony Pert saying hurry up. Dillon to Van Dorn. Back to Geordie Muller. I really missed him when he was out of the side for a couple of weeks. Did the Zebras. Real metronome type operator in the centre of the park is Geordie Muller. Throw in. Taken down the line. Rolls harmlessly out of play. Zebras, are we happy with the 3 points? Not the best performance of the entire season, but good enough here as Geordie Muller finds Hay. To Harutza, who's really composed in the centre-back position tonight. Continuing his run on as the centre-back. Sanders battling with Joel Schuth and manages to win the free kick. The experience of Sanders. Not in a huge rush to take this free kick out of the Zebras.
I don't think there'll be too much added time here. Dying embers of this one, the Zebras set to begin the round with a victory. Some real action coming on Sundays. This one swung in. Dangerous ball. O'Connell with a safe pair of hands. You join us for the live stream at Darcy Street on Sunday. Devonport v South Hobart. My preview today, now or never, very much the theme. South Hobart have to win. If they don't, curtains for them. And maybe just about one hand on the trophy for the Strikers at that point. It's going to be a huge game. Devonport absolutely flying at the moment, but how will the legs be after coming back from the FFA Cup? South Hobart know all about that, of course. Back, bad memories of 2015 there, but they came back very tight after Sydney United, lose to Rangers and drop the title, so has happened before, but I'm not betting against Devonport the way that team's playing right now. They are dialed in. It will be a cracking day at Darcy Street, so if you can get along to it, otherwise we'll have the stream as Timothy Baker looks to get on the score sheet at the end here. He's got Danny Cowan in the middle if he can find him. He might go on his own. Still going Timothy Baker. He turns, he dinks, and he can't get it past the last man on the line. Kamara getting a little piece of it. And looks like the goal is going to elude them. Although the Zebras still have time to add one. They have got numbers everywhere here, forwards. It's breaking for them. Now they're going to think their way through it. Sanders the target. Schuth with a touch on it. Behind for corner number 17.
Yeah, crucial touch there from Joel Schuth. Zebras streaming forward in numbers. Iski Van Dorn strutting across. Probably saying, can I take this again so I can have another go?
He's got a fair point. Come on.
He does.
Come on, Stone Cold.
Nah.
Just scored from one.
Especially if you're going to deliver something like that, Stone Cold. Cleared at the near post comfortably. Moved back in onside. I think it was Jacobs Glenage, but O'Connell comes out and claims.
And there is the full-time whistle here on Friday night at KG5. They were made to work for it. But the Hobart Zebras eventually wore down the Kingborough Lions and claim a 3-1 victory. They were trailing at the half after Danny Cowan had put the visitors ahead. They appeared on course for an upset. We'll run you through the goals now, and one that Czech Kamara would like to have back, slipping over it twice. Danny Cowan says thank you very much. Put the 1-0 ahead, and for quite some time it looked as if the Lions were going to get a result off the back of that goal, Paul Hunt.
Yeah, looking very comfortable in the first half. The Kingborough Lions set up their stall defensively very well, but then in the second half, a few little tweaks. Lovely lead from Glenage, and Sanders with the turn and shoot on the non-preferred. Made it 1-1, and then took them a little while to break down Kingborough again after that first goal. The Zebras, but they eventually got there. It was Robinson firing in, and Glenage a rifled finish into the bottom corner. What you want from your poaching striker. And then the icing on the cake coming up from the corner, Iski Van Dorn, with something for his highlight reel. Probably not one the keeper will be putting on his. As Van Dorn looking to put that in the mixer, and ends up in the back of the net. And that's made it 3-1 last 5 to 10 minutes. Not a huge amount of chances after that one. It pretty much put the game to bed, and on the whole, probably Zebras deserved winners in this one.
Yeah, I think they created more. Probably fair enough that they walk away with the 3 points. Kingborough gave a good fight, defended well when they had their lead, but the corner and shot count does tell the story. The Zebras had more of the play and were the winners on the evening, so they'll keep up their fight in what does look a race for second place at this stage. Obviously Devonport beyond their reach now, but a good way to start the round for the Zebras, and we'll be back on Sunday from Darcy Street. Join us for that one, a defining day coming up in the NPL Tasmania. Until then, it's bye for now.